Hello guys, welcome back to today. We're going to be talking about the Vegas Golden Knights versus San Jose playoff series. Now the Vegas Golden Knights won in 6 games over the San Jose Sharks. Of course, being in round 2 and the Vegas Golden Knights advancing to the Western Conference Final again at the start of the season. Nobody would have expected them to make the playoffs, let alone be close to the playoffs, let alone the Western Conference Final. If this isn't a Cinderella story, I don't know what is, but the Vegas Golden Knights advancing to the Western Conference Final over the San Jose Sharks in 6 games. So let's get into the game, shall we? And in game 1, we're starting out maybe it's a close game. We're expecting a good game from San Jose, a good game from Golden Knights. What could really happen there? 7-0 Golden Knights. What? 7-0 Golden Knights. Whatever it takes, man. 7-0. The Golden Knights win, and that was a crazy game. The Vegas Golden Knights were great, though the San Jose Sharks had a little bit of chances. But the Vegas Golden Knights were on a whole different level. 7-0. They were prepared really for that game. San Jose didn't look too great though. It's just Vegas. Vegas reasons 7-0. Who would have thought? Kane had the cross check, and I think it was Reeves. I can't remember who it was, but I think he was suspended that game for 1 game, so he missed game 2 later in the series. But in this game, 7-0. I mean, Kane had to get his frustration out somewhere, but 7-0 Golden Knights. That's a whooping. That's a big whooping. Now we head into game 2 where it's a much closer game. It was 3-3 going into overtime, and then they don't score in that overtime, and then we go to a second overtime, and San Jose is able to win it. They were clutch though in that second overtime. They were looking pretty good, and they finally scored. But man, Fleury was amazing in that game. Both goaltenders defenders were pretty good throughout the whole game, and the offense was rolling for both teams. A lot of chances. It was an overall good game. Second overtime though, sometimes those games are going to go out late, and they did. It was tiring. It was tiring to watch the whole thing. But a double overtime for that game, and it was craziness. I mean, that game went on forever, it seemed like, but the Vegas Golden Knights will lose that game, and for the San Jose Sharks, they tied the series up 1-1 going into game 3. And for San Jose, it was a pretty good road trip splitting in Vegas. I think they'd definitely take that 1-1 going in San Jose, the Shark Tank. I think that was a good position for them. They didn't quite capitalize on it, but going into it, I think the Sharks definitely had the momentum. Then on to game 3 in the Shark Tank. It's again 3-3 going into overtime, but this time the Vegas Golden Knights have a little bit more in them as they win 4-3 over the San Jose Sharks. And again, another close game. For the first game, we were going to get a couple of close games. We definitely did a couple of overtime games in this one, and 2 straight. Again, those teams were looking a little bit tired there after the 2 straight, especially in game 4 after those. But it was a fun game. It was back and forth, but the Vegas Golden Knights were able to win it and just get by them. And San Jose, they really needed that win because to get up in that series 2-1 was going to be huge for them. The Vegas Golden Knights were taking that opportunity in the Shark Tank to win in overtime, and they did. And I think that was a momentum shifter. Having the series lead 2-1, even though the San Jose Sharks would tie it, I still think was a big and crucial thing for the Vegas Golden Knights to do. But on to game 4 in the Shark Tank, the Golden Knights looking to put the 3-1 lead, and nope, the San Jose Sharks win 4-0 over the Vegas Golden Knights. Not a great game by Vegas in any way, like shape or form. San Jose looked really good offensively. They had lots of chances. Fleury was saving a lot of crap, but 4-0, San Jose won it. I mean, San Jose's defense looked great. Martin Jones looked fantastic again, and the Vegas Golden Knights were just not able to get it done. This time around, the San Jose Sharks looked a lot better. They looked like they were answering from what the last game showed. They were doing everything that they needed to be, and they were looking like a great team against Vegas. Vegas looks like they had a day off. It seemed like they just didn't really bring it against the San Jose Sharks team that really wanted to tie the series. But a pivotal game, 2-2, the series is tied, and it was a close game throughout, but both teams needed this win. But the Vegas Golden Knights were able to get it past them, 5-3, Vegas winning it. But it was a close game throughout. The Vegas Golden Knights were able to sneak it past them just at the last few minutes of the game. But it was an exhilarating game. Both teams seemed like they really wanted it, and they really did. It was a very good game, and a game that both teams needed, but unfortunately only Vegas could get, as the Vegas takes a 3-2 lead now, going into the Shark Tank with the 3-2 series lead, but a good opportunity to close the series out. But in Game 6, the Vegas Golden Knights looking to win it and win the series in this game, and it was a close game. It was a fun game, and throughout it just seemed like either team could have won. But at the end, Vegas winning 3-0. Now this was a very weird, interesting game. For one, I think we can all agree San Jose should have won this game. They got so many chances, and it seemed like they were the most unlucky team that could ever be. Like, Fleury was amazing, but the post, man, the post was the player of the game for that game. San Jose somehow was shut out here, but they should have scored at least 4 goals in the first period. It was just crazy how the San Jose Sharks didn't score in this game at all, because it seemed like they were the much better team throughout. It seemed like they had so many chances, so many great chances, but it just seemed like the puck just would not go in to save anyone's life. But it seemed like San Jose Sharks were the much better team, and it seemed like they could have won this game easily, but it was just luck was on the Vegas Golden Knights side, and that's how it's been for most of the season for a lot of opponents. But San Jose faced it hard in this game. Vegas still looked decent when they needed to be. When they got the goals, they looked good. But San Jose in that first period should have been up at least 2-3 goals, in my opinion. You would have seen some unlucky plays. But man, San Jose was as lucky as you could possibly be. Martin Jones, incredible in this game again. Incredible throughout the whole series. But still, staying steady throughout this game. He definitely did not deserve to lose this one. But it just felt like San Jose, everything was against Vegas somehow winning it. But it felt like the odds were against them as much as it possible. But San Jose still looked like the better team throughout. It just felt like everything was against them. And it was the pattern throughout the whole series. Vegas just got goals when they needed to. They were clutch, and when they needed to get goals, they did it almost every single game where they did win. It felt like they were clutch. They were able to get it done, but the offense came up when needed to. There was really no games where it really slacked around. The offense for the Vegas Golden Knights was always pretty good throughout this whole series, and it felt like they were always decent, always good enough to win. And it felt definitely Vegas offense right now is probably one of their best traits. They're doing very, very well right now. And Fleury, man, probably the best player so far in these playoffs. Unbelievable series by him. He really, even though he allowed quite a few goals, even though more goals than some other goaltenders right now in the playoffs, I still think that he's the best goalie right now throughout the whole playoffs, maybe even the best player throughout the whole playoffs, man. He's just been amazing, and he's been great throughout the whole series and the whole playoffs, man. He's been one of the main reasons why the Vegas Golden Knights are in the Western Conference Final right now. He's just been fantastic and unbelievable throughout the whole thing. He's unlocked that playoff Fleury mode, but he's just been fantastic for the Vegas Golden Knights, and so have the Golden Knights with him. They are doing fantastic right now, and Fleury is one of the main reasons. But if you're a Sharks fan, you're going to blame Kane on this series. I think it was revealed earlier yesterday that Kane played the whole series with a separated shoulder, and I think in round 1 he had an MCL injury. It was crazy. He was playing throughout basically the whole playoffs with injured stuff, with a separated shoulder. You're not going to play all that well, so I'm going to give him a break on that. Even getting 1 point this series, I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass. Playing hockey with a separated shoulder is hard. Playing hockey by itself is hard. Playing hockey with a separated shoulder is ultra hard. I gotta give him a little bit of a pass for not doing all that much, because of course he's been injured throughout these whole playoffs. But Martin Jones, man, amazing series by him. Definitely did not deserve to lose it. He did allow quite a few goals, but again, the goals against is still there, but the save percentage isn't great. But he has made some fantastic saves. He's one of those goaltenders that sometimes the defense isn't going to be there for him, but he is going to allow the goals, but he's going to play fantastic. And sometimes your team just doesn't come up for you. But Martin Jones was stopping as much as he could. He had a great series, and I felt like he was probably San Jose's best player all around throughout this whole series. He was amazing. He made saves that he shouldn't have made ever, but Vegas Golden Knights had lots of opportunities just throughout this whole series, but Jones was able to get there. Jones was fantastic throughout the whole series and was just steady throughout, and San Jose needed that. They just did not have really anything else. Playoff Thomas Hertl was fantastic throughout the whole series. He had a great series. So Couture, he looked great as well. The stars on San Jose came to play. Burns was great as well. It just that the depth just wasn't what it needed to be offensively for San Jose. Of course, they didn't get all that lucky throughout the whole series, but it was still a need that they didn't fill completely. The star power for the San Jose Sharks was decent, but not good enough. But the depth for San Jose just did not really come up throughout the whole series consistently for the San Jose Sharks, which they needed to be to get past Vegas Golden Knights. But even with that, I felt like they were the better team throughout, I'd say, at least half of the series. I felt like Vegas was getting lucky time and time again, especially in Game 6. But San Jose, I felt like, was a good team, at least a great team throughout the whole series. They were just not getting things done. They were not finished, and they were obviously not getting the luck that they probably deserved. They did not get the luck on their side, and I felt like they were the better team for a lot of this series, just were not able to get it done. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the better team doesn't win, but the San Jose Sharks, I mean, they got a lot of unlucky breaks. I think that they did play at least relatively well throughout the whole series. I'm going to give them credit for that because I don't know if they fully deserve to win the series, but they definitely deserve to at least go 7 games with the Vegas Golden Knights. It seemed like they did play very, very well, and I'd say there's nothing to really be ashamed of on their part. But of course, who's Vegas going to face as Winnipeg has the 3-2 series lead against Nashville in that series? Nashville can still come back, but it's looking like Winnipeg is going to win that series. So Vegas, Winnipeg is going to be a fantastic series. Winnipeg is going to be a tough opponent for Vegas. I don't know if they'll get quite past them, but Winnipeg is a fantastic team. Of course, being Nashville is their toughest chance. But if Nashville goes to 7 games, Winnipeg is going to be a little bit tired for that series against Vegas if that does end up happening. But if it goes 7 games, a team that will go out of that series will be pretty tired. So I can see them being a little bit of an advantage for Vegas there, but still, I think that Winnipeg or Nashville will be both great opponents against Vegas. 2 opponents that are going to give them a little bit of trouble. I don't know if the Vegas Golden Knights will get past them. I hope they do, but it's going to be a tough series. Even if the Nashville or Winnipeg doesn't get a lot of rest, it'll still be a tough series. Vegas is going to have the work cut out for them. And they've shown it. They've proven us that they can get past tough opponents, and it's just all about getting them past. Now, if they get to the Stanley Cup final, who knows what can happen, man. I mean, Vegas Golden Knights, they've done miraculous things. I think they can get past Winnipeg if this story continues to go on. But again, they're going to have a tough time against anybody that they face. Even though Vegas is a good team, I think that Winnipeg and Nashville are at least going to give a huge fight to Vegas. It's going to be their toughest opponent yet. And Vegas is going to have to prepare for this. This is going to be their toughest matchup yet, and it's going to be a crazy one. It's going to be a war. It's going to go down the wire. I'd be surprised if it doesn't go 7 games. It could be a surprising one, but it would go 7 games. It doesn't matter if it's Winnipeg or Nashville. It's going to be their hardest opponent yet. For Vegas, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a war, and the Vegas Golden Knights could come out of it, but they're going to have to bring their best game that they've ever played, because against Nashville and Winnipeg in a 7-game series, it's going to be a crazy one. But I am rooting for Vegas in here. I'm rooting for Vegas. Go to the Stanley Cup and win it because the Cinderella story must go on. But that's going to be it for today, guys. If you guys enjoy it, make sure you like and subscribe. If you guys haven't, share with your friends. Let me know what you guys thought of this series. Vegas Golden Knights versus San Jose Sharks. What you think they can do going into round 3. And can they get to the Stanley Cup final? I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.